Hello again, 6th grade. Welcome to the Chapter 6 closure review. I'm going to kind of hit the highlights of a few of the problems that I think you might need some help on. For each of these, I'm going to briefly go over it and a couple of reminders for you. So on this first one, it does say to find the area and the perimeter, and it is a parallelogram. If you have the formula for area of a parallelogram still with you, it will be in your foldable. If not, it is simply the area is equal to the base times the height. And in this case, your base is 3 because it is a length across the bottom. And then the height is not this slanty bit of 9.5. If you remember measuring students in class, you do not measure them when they are tilted sideways. It doesn't work. So go ahead and recognize that the height always makes a right angle to the base, which means the height is 7. My area for this is 21 meters squared. Again, units are important. On this one, you're going to have to use the fact that 9 is here and here as well, and that the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. And you can use 9 and 4 for that, but do not use 9.85 when you're dealing with area. Perimeter is all the way around, so you'll use 9 for this. On 6-121, the main thing that I will address is this right-hand side again. Originally, it would have had a length of x all the way from top to bottom, because this length is x and this length is also x. However, there has been a little piece chopped off of it, which is this 1 unit. So my length is, for this part right here, is specifically x minus 1, because it's x take away that one section there. And so when you're counting these lines, this section is x minus 1 together with that. So use that when you're dealing with the perimeter. Okay. When you evaluate these expressions, again, please always use parentheses when you're doing that. It will save you so much headache in the long run. Here you've got 8 plus a value of m to the 3rd power. 8 plus m to the 3rd. M to the 3rd is written or said as m cubed. Or you say m to the power of 3. And so then when you plug in m equals 2, 8 plus 2 to the power of 3. Do not say 6. It is not 2 times 3. This is an exponent, which means this whole expression should be 2 times 2 times 2. In other words, it is 8. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So my equation simplifies to give me 8 plus 8, which is equal to 16. Okay. When you write a percentage as a fraction and as a decimal, my example, let's go with 200%. To write it as a fraction, you simply take the percentage, 200 over 100. Congratulations, you've made it into a percentage. These are all the same. When you write it as a decimal, you simply take the 200%. You recognize that it starts off with a decimal that's not written, that's right here. And then to convert it into a decimal, or an actual usable decimal, you move this 2 spots to the left, leaving you with 2.00, or just 2. But it did ask for a decimal, so we could keep it as 2.00 if you'd like. Okay. To calculate these quotients, I did add a reminder that you need to convert to improper fractions first. So if I'm dividing here, I need to do 4 times 3 to get 12, plus 2, which is 14 thirds. And then I still have this division sign by 2 thirds. There's a shortcut to dividing. We've gone over it earlier in the chapter. You simply take the second term. So you've got the 14/3 divided by 2/3. This second term is what gets flipped. So again, I keep the 14/3 because it's the first term. This division sign changes to multiplication, and then I change this to 3/2. So it becomes 3/2. And then I simply multiply across the top and the bottom. Do not do common denominators when there is a multiplication symbol involved. It's horrible. 14 times 3 is 42. 3 times 2 is 6. That will indeed simplify and just give me 7. 42 divided by 6 gives me 7. On 125, they tell you this area is 3 inches squared, or 3 square inches. It means that from my area of a triangle formula, I had 1/2 the base times the height. I know they told me the area was 3, which is 1/2 of the 3 inches on the base that they told me, and then some unknown height here. So the question is, what value will make this give me 3? And there's a couple of ways to do it. 3 times something divided by 2 gives me 3. This something has to be 2, which means that this height of this parallelogram is 2. So then you can use the area of the total figure as just 6 times 2, which is 12 inches squared. Simplify by combining like terms. I will mention that on part D, there is nothing that's going to happen with those parentheses. That's just another way to write the x minus 1. So this could be simplified first as x plus 4 plus, then there's an x minus 1 plus 3 plus 2x. In other words, because there's no number right here or no negative sign, just drop the parentheses off. Order of operations, again, this should be review. Watch out for part C. A lot of you will be tempted to do 18 minus 7. You cannot do that. You have to follow PEMDAS. There's no parentheses, there's no exponents. There is multiplication and division, left to right. This happens first, because that's the first thing. 18 minus 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5, plus 20. Reminder, that's just 2 times 2, because it's 2 squared. That's all for the homework help on this. Good luck with the rest of the closure, and hope you guys have a great week.